Good evening. I am Mark Armstrong. I posted a couple of videos up there for you to check out. Give you a little bit of the beginning of the study of the martial arts. And tonight we're going to continue because we are of that feeling that no one has the right to put their hands on you. And basically, what I'm going to teach you is how to give the beating and not be a victim. And that's going to be the motto. Give the beating, do not be a victim. Okay? It's real simple. You just got to know what to do. Like swimming. Okay. So let's just take off tonight from where we left off. We'll review a couple of the weapons. We're going to teach you a couple of new weapons, movements, the letters we discussed if you go back. Some of the videos were a little long, I admit, but there's a lot of knowledge that has to be understood when you're dealing with battle. Person coming at you in the street, your mindset, there's distance, there's balance, there's movement. There's so many things that you say, wow, gee, how am I going to remember all this? It's real easy. When we walk, we don't think about it. Just do it, right? But when we were babies, Daddy, I'm going to fall. That's what it was like when we were beginners. Well, that's what the martial arts is. First we learn how to walk. Then we learn how to run. And then we learn how to fly. Then we learn how to fly. Okay? Very simple. But first we have to learn how to do these movements. Okay? Like I said from the beginning, when you practice, everything slow. Trust me, you want to practice slow. You want that brain to know how to throw the technique correctly. It's very important to throw that technique correctly. Anyone can throw it fast. Anyone can throw it fast. Okay? Correctly gets the job done. Okay, so for tonight, what I got planned, something interesting. We will go over, as I said, the reviewing. And then we'll learn some new stuff. Okay, so we had the jab, real simple. Go straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down. Most important thing is keeping the elbow down and positioning of the knuckles. But let's not worry about the position of the knuckles for now, because that's involved, all right? So let's just learn like that. Straight up, straight back. Now, this target is going to be right here. It's going to be right here. It's going to be right here. We got a little soundtrack going tonight, make it a little more interesting. We are the champions. Okay. So, getting back to that, we'll be straight up, straight back, straight up, and back. Now, see this other hand? I'm keeping it here just because that's where I want it. It could be anywhere. But for now, we're going to keep it here because the next technique is going to be here. If the hand was here, I would bring it to here, and then I would fire it into that other technique, which we learned. We learned the jab. We learned the reverse punch. They work together. They're all working off this midsection. Let's get that camera down here a little bit. We got a new camera, so it's going to be a little clearer. Hopefully you'll get this down. We try to move from here. This is our bow. Okay? It's a slight movement. Believe me, it's a slight movement. And that channels the energy through the hand. So I move that, and then I move that. And I peg the power. Now, if I was to take a step, you'd have even more power. But sometimes you can't take a step because the guy's right here. You're not going to step into him unless you want to kiss him. And I don't think you want to kiss him at this point in the situation. Okay, so let's get back to that. 1, 2. Same target. Hey, no one says you have to go bridge of the nose, solar plexus. You could shoot both targets to the head. A lot of my friends were headhunters. That's what we used to call ourselves. Excuse me. Bridge of the nose. Bridge of the nose. It doesn't matter. As long as you know where that weapon is going. In other words, it's not just being thrown. These are picked targets. You are in control of those weapons. And the way you learn to do this is not by doing it fast. It's by going 2, 1, 2. Now we're going to drop back into the rest of the studio here. All right, let me get this. So I want you to see a little leg action here. So we're going to do a little cha-cha-cha. Now, we have stances. Many stances in martial arts. Alright, stances are great for practicing. In battle, all you got to do is drop down 2 inches and you gain a lot of strength. And basically, that's where all your stances come from. But that's another story. We went over dropping down. You get not this. That's not dropping down. This is dropping down. If I was to hit someone at this position, it would have a lot more power if I'm dropped down, because now I have a stronger foundation. Okay. So now we're going to get into a stance just for practice. Okay. 70%, you know you're doing it right when you can't see your toes. You look down, you can't see your toes. This leg here is out. When I say out, I mean there is nothing impeding its way of movement. It would come up, chambered, fired out, back, down. Now let's look from this angle, we'll get a little better. It would come up, fired out, back, down. Very important. I know we'll mention this in every class because it's very important. When you throw your techniques, never lock them out. You never go all the way. Okay? You go 9/10. Even your kicks. When I practice something called the calibration, then you go all the way out when you're doing it slow. Alright? When you're doing it real slow. But when you're going fast and you're not hitting something, 9/10. When you're hitting something, doesn't matter. You won't hurt your elbow. You won't hurt your joints. He gets the power, not you. So we're dealing with a lot of power here. Alright? We're dealing with teaching your mind how to generate energy. And by sending it through the weapons to do a lot of damage. Okay, so let's get into now. Let's go over for a second here. We're going to do the kicks. And we're going to go for a low kick for a second. Let's see that. A little slow. We're going to hit with the top part of the foot, which is called the instep strike. Now, when you catch someone to the groin, which is what our target's going to be, lovely target, you can catch him anywhere. It'll slide right up. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be right on. Now, I've had this experience. You hit someone to the groin, it takes about 1.5 minutes for the real pain to come on. In that 1.5 minutes, or a little bit less, maybe a minute, maybe 90 seconds, excuse me, maybe 45 seconds where the pain really comes on. I mean, he feels it right away, but the pain will come on where he has to buckle. He could be on top of you. So I do not recommend that as a starting strike unless you're going to follow up with another strike. Okay, but we're going to discuss this at further lengths when we get into battle theory. But I just want to realize, because I'm throwing these kicks out there, that if you kick a guy to the groin, don't think that that's the end of the fight. I once did, and boy was I in for a big surprise. Okay, and I had to continue the battle. So, and it was when I was just starting out. I got out of it, but, I had to do a number. Anyway, so when you kick to that groin, it's more or less best off in the beginning as a follow-up strike. In other words, you caught this guy to the bridge of the nose. You blasted him to the solar plexus and took out his wind. So now his nose has been broken. He's been hit here, and the wind's been knocked out of him. So this guy just standing there like this, there ain't much left. That's when it's good to give him a nice kick in his groin. Okay. I teach overkill. I don't have to take it this far. But sometimes you have to take it further than this. Because a lot of big people out there, like the guy with a bat, you never know what the situation's going to be. Okay, let's go over a couple of the blocks. We had a down block, hitting with this part of the hand. The hammer fist, very powerful. Now, I want to get into that a little more tonight. So I'll explain you what's really going on. You got a guy throwing a punch. He's got 2 bones here. You're cutting across his power line, we call it. His power line is coming this way. His power line, I'm going to do it many angles so you can see it. This is what he's doing. He's coming and hitting you. I want you to imagine that's me being hit. He's coming and being hit. And what I'm doing is I'm going against his power line. Now, let me show you the interesting thing about blocks. This guy has to come at you with this, at least hand or leg a distance. All you have to do is stay within your power. Your power is here. Your power is here. This guy's got to go from here all the way to here to hit you. All you got to do is sit there, take your time, maybe pick up a magazine, thumb through it, then block. You only have to go from here to here. He has to move this way. Now, you're going against his power line. That's a down block. If the guy was throwing a hook, you would throw an in-out block to the same two bones. So what I'm trying to say is, you wait him out, you wait him out, you wait him out. You get nervous, you got to move a shorter distance than him. And then when you attack him with this power, with this hammer fist, or this block, which is meant to break the arm, you're going against these two bones. You wouldn't go this way. That's power against power. You want to go against his power flow. Against his power flow. If he's coming down, you want to go against his power flow. Okay? And you will understand these things as time goes on. I am very repetitive. A lot of this stuff interchanges with the discussions. Okay. So now we have our down block. It could be from many angles. Right? Guy comes with a kick. All right? Once again, you keep it close to the body, shoot it down. Now, movement from here is that way and down. But you try with all of these techniques, you try, and it's not that hard to do. Try and make believe this is, once you get to that position, you drop, make believe this is shelf. You don't move anymore. Now you're powerful. See, anytime you hit something and you move at all, it's a loss of power. If you're hitting them that way, power's going that way. And we're going to get more into this as time goes on. But how do you eliminate that? Well, you bend. You bend. You get into these different types of stances. Okay. So once review one more time. Review is important because there are going to be a lot more weapons. So, I'm going to be going back and forth. I might come out here one day and say, okay, let's go. We're going to throw a hook kick, a back fist, a ridge hand. So you're going to see that there's a lot of different ways of taking a guy apart when you have to. And that's what the martial arts is. It teaches you to defend yourself from any possible angle, any possible attack. And that's why we change different parts of the legs, distances, the hand, the leg, the knee, the elbow. These are all distances. Biting, distances. I mean, you really don't want to get that close, but you know what? Hannibal Lecter did a nice job, so why can't we? Okay. So now getting back to this, let's go on. We had our down blocks, we had our jabs, all right? Don't think I'm rushing through this because, believe me, we're going to do a lot of these, okay? A new move I want to teach you tonight, another beauty, I'm sorry, was this, stepping across to the head. My instructor was on TV once, and I'll repeat the story because it's worth repeating. I believe it was the Mike Douglas show. And they asked him, what was the one thing a woman could do out of all the techniques? And, you don't realize that there's thousands and thousands. What would you do? So he said, you would hit the head this way. And we're going to use my friend Rodney. Rodney don't mind, because he ain't with us anymore. Right, Rod? And he's still talking. Good old Rodney over here. See? Can't shut him. He's the best. We'll give him a second.
I tell you what, me eating has replaced sex completely. In fact, I have a mirror put it over my kitchen table.
Hey, Rod, I said 2 minutes, huh? Come on.
I was embarrassed while I was eating my kid broke and I grabbed my knife and I covered my main dish, My wife had a mirror put it over our bed. Yeah, she told me she likes to watch herself there.
You want to know the best part? I took the batteries out. He still talks to the head. Right, hang on 2 seconds. If we were coming this way, hand closed,
boom, on the side of the head. Boom, on the side of the head. Can you see that? Good. Now I'll do it here. Rodney. Shut up, this guy. Do something here, what are you? You're sleeping. He's funny.
Okay. Okay. A little commercial from Rodney. This one. This one. At the same time. See what's happening, just so you know. He's getting hit with a shot like this. I mean, you're giving this guy nice shots. He's getting hit with a shot like this. But you're also talking about the head. Head wasn't, I mean, look at all these football players and star athletes. Now they're having all these problems with their heads and the professional fighters. Head ain't meant to take a shot. Now, you know, this is what we're dealing with, the head. So you're hitting it with like a really good shot like this, right? A whole closed hand and a hammer fist. Now, you gotta understand something. When someone gets hit, they go flying back. If you stop them from going flying back, they take the full brunt of the strike. And that's what's happening here. By me hitting the head this way and hitting the head on this side, and this is the temporal area. It's the death area. You know, it's a death strike area. You could definitely easily kill a person by hitting him in this area, which is horrible, but it's definitely a very, very vulnerable area. But what you're doing is you're preventing the head from getting any recoil because you're hitting him here and you're hitting him here at the same time. So everything in the center, there's going to be some damage. But this was a technique that was to be used by a woman if she had one thing to do to save her life on the street. And this is what my instructor said. It's a damn good technique. It's a hammer fist, but basically a smack, but it's done at the same time. Anyone could do it. And let me tell you, boom. Least case scenario, he gets knocked out. Worst case scenario, he dies. Because you're going into the brain. You know. It takes a little while to gain that power. But if you were to stick to your guns, which I like to call this, and you drop down, and fire at the same time, just right into the sides of the head, it's over. It's got to be the exact same time. It's a little advanced for a beginner, but remember, it's in the head, it's there. This becomes part of your arsenal. As you get better, all of these tools come out and you'll be able to move. Okay, so now let's go over something new tonight. It's called an overhead block, okay? Now, you don't really see this often with a hand. Most people don't come at you like this, but they might. They might with a piece of wood. An overhead block is really interesting. You shoot it up in this way, and it covers the whole head. So you're kind of in this crux. Now, if something was to hit it, you would go, excuse me, you would go to fire into it. But it's not easy. Excuse me. It's not easy to send power upward in that direction. Yeah, going down, you know, you got gravity, you got this, that, whatever. Going up, you can do it. It's not that easy. What you want to do is get that hand out of it, and you keep it on a slight angle. So if it does catch, the idea is to knock the hand away, obviously. Okay? But you may not. So you keep it on a slight bend, so if it hits you, it skids over. And your head is in here, so it's protected. So you would shoot it up to here, and then right away, bam! This hand's got to be launched. Because he's right here. You block one move, boom. Right. Take it right to the bridge of the nose. Now here, we're taking that the reverse punch that are going into the solar plexus, which is above the, right below your sternum bone. We're going to take it to the bridge of the nose. So what we're going to do, real simple. Let's get into this stance here. I wish I had a cameraman. One day we will when they bring me on my own TV show. Let's go. Okay. So from here, I'm going to do it with a step. Step, block, strike. All right, nice and slow. This step. Notice how my head is protected. It's not too far forward the hand, and not too far back so he can hit me. Let's make like he's coming with a piece of wood. If it was a piece of wood, the piece of wood would be over. I'm catching his hand. So it's from here. 1, 2. Now, this is where I want you to really pay attention. Watch. 1, 2. What do I do with this hand? Am I going to leave it there for CNN to come and take a picture? No. Here's what's going to happen. You block. It started sharp. That hand is flying. The hand you hit is flying. Right? Remember? Imagination. Okay. Block. 1. Smash the bridge of the nose. His hand is flying from here into the ribs. Right here. Because this hand is up. Remember? He threw his hand up. All them beautiful ribs are right there. So here's the technique. 1. The block. Okay? 2. Bridge of the nose. 3. Drive that hand right. Now look where that other hand is. Look where that other hand is. It's ready to go already. That's what you want. It blocked. It did its job. Get it out of there. Boom. Get it out of there. Boom. You can go from the block right to the face. Go anywhere you want. Just realize once it moves, it's got to come back to be ready to move. Like a chess game. Okay, so overhead block, reverse punch into the ribs from this angle. In case you can see it better. Overhead block, reverse punch into the bridge of the nose. But you could have went here. It didn't matter. It was open. It was open. There's no rules. Go to solar plexus, go to the groin, go to the bridge of the nose, whatever you want to. But this hand here, after the block, I want you to, it comes right back, boom, blast in the ribs. And now we're going to add one more thing.